I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what this is about. I literally, I mean, I pull cards all the time by myself and for myself and for the people that I love. And I was in the shower, you know, ending my night, get ready to go to bed, and I was watching something on YouTube, and I just got this urge to like pull some cards, and something said record it, and I never record it. I don't know if it's personal. I don't know if it's for somebody else, but I guess we will see what's going on. Um, so yeah, spirit. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. Quite a bit. We got quite a bit happening here. There's a lot of energy. Um, I'm gonna go over them in channel in order. Okay. Nine of Cups. I don't know if you guys can see. Nine of Cups. And nine is a number of completion. And you guys can see she's sitting here. She's very proud of herself. She has nine full cups. She is completed a cycle. And it kind of looks like she's celebrating something, like the white skirt. And she's just got like this very proud smile on her face. And you can tell that she's very, very, very proud of herself. Um, and then next card to come out was the Queen of Cups. And what I'm getting from that is abundance of overflow. Like very regal, very, you earned it, you deserve it. All of the things that you've worked hard for and you've accomplished, you can now reap the benefits of that and also lead by example. And you are being watched, like you're being honored in a way for all of the trials and tribulations that you've gone through and that you've all of the trials, I'm sorry, and tribulations that you've gone through and that you've made it through and that you've learned from, and you know the lessons that you've learned along the way. Very prosperous. I'm sorry, very prosperous. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Again, very prosperous. You can see she's holding a flower. She has a flame torch in her hand, and she's at the top of her throne. She's got two lions, so she's very strong. And she's very firm and stable and seated in her position. And I'm gonna look at the um, guidebook for the Queen of Wands. This is so random. I cannot get over how random this is, y'all. Like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to post it or if I'm just supposed to document it. That's the crazy thing. Like, sometimes Spirit just tells you to do something and you do it. And I'm really working on using my listening ears and not asking too many questions um, when it comes to Spirit because, you know, Spirit ain't never let me wrong yet. But this is just so bizarre and random. I'm really trying to figure this part out. Um, Queen of Wands is bursting with life and infectious energy, and you can't help feeling like you could take on the world when you're around her. Her confidence and get to itness is so powerful. She motivates you to do shit. If you're the queen, life is getting it all. Life is giving it all to you right now. Good luck, ideas, friends, promotions. So channel this bounty into confidence. You know your strengths and weaknesses and how to utilize all your skills to get what you want. So go get it. Okay. And then that goes into the Queen of. You know, while I'm here, let me read the Queen of Cups too. Queen of Cups, a comforting and therapeutic guide. She is deeply in tune with her inner worlds of emotions. Highly empathetic and creative, she spends a lot of her time gazing out into the waters of the unconscious, and it might be difficult to keep her on solid ground. If this card is you, trust your intuition and feelings in creative endeavors. If you search within, you will find a wealth of creativity and inspiration that will guide you down the right path. Going back to the Nine of Cups, which was the first cup that was drawn, I mean, the first card that was drawn. Treat yourself. You've been killing it lately and you deserve a nice reward after your success and accomplishments. Throw a party, buy yourself something nice, have a spa day, do something you want to only for you. Show yourself the love you deserve. Okay, so now I'm feeling like this is probably a mixed reading. I'm pretty sure this could resonate with someone, but I think this was just my higher self and my spirit guides yelling at me because I recently graduated college and I got a promotion at work and I've just been really thriving and I have completed a 5 year plan and I have not been celebrating myself. I've not been celebrating myself. Like, I'm proud of myself, yes, because whew, the last 4 years have been kind of crazy, but I have not intentionally done a thing where it's like, okay, Simone, this is from you for you, to just give yourself the recognition that you deserve to give yourself for all of the accomplishments and all of the growth that you've done over the past couple years. And also going into the Queen of Cups with that therapeutic approach, knowing, having my bachelor's degree and pursuing my master's in psychology of developmental studies and just really going into the Queen of Wands with the go get itness. Like, okay, the readings for me. I'm not sure why I had to record it, but we persevere. Six of Wands. Six of Wands. I like reading from the book because sometimes it gives you that piece of sometimes when I'm doing my readings, like there is a feeling that I can't quite put the word to, right? So it's like sometimes when you read the guide and it gives you like those little clips of each card, it kind of helps you, like, yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling. Like she's on a journey, right? That's what I'm saying. She's on a journey. And she's feeling very victorious. She's got her wreath on her wand or her staff that she's holding. And so to me, that this is a walk of victory. Again, this is a very prosperous reading so far. um, and it says, a V is for victory. You've just won a big battle, and now you can enjoy the rewards. Your admiring supporters cheer you on in a victory parade since you've just accomplished something big. Success is yours. Enjoy your moment and let your ego get the boost. I'm not an egotistical person, y'all. Like, I really try really hard to not be humble, but like just maintain like grounded. I don't know, it might be a Virgo thing because I'm an earth sign, but like I try to stay very grounded and I try to stay very like aware of myself, not humble or like belittle myself, but also definitely not like conceited or braggadocious either. And I feel like I struggle with that, especially with when it comes to like having big accomplishments like the ones I've had in this year. um, and I feel like maybe I could definitely benefit from balancing that. And then I have the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Wands, right? Very prosperous reading. Wow. Okay. Okay, Eight of Wands. I don't know if you guys can see this. Eight of Wands. You fly across the desert fast as hell and looking to the horizon, the wand speeding along the sky above you. It's time to stop sitting around. You've got to take action and go, go, go. Rev the engine and stop wasting time because you've got things to do, people to see, and places to go. This, like, all right, I'm going to give you guys the download once I'm done with this card, right? So then we have the Queen of Swords. And it says the Queen of Swords has an unflinching perception that can cut to the truth of the matter in seconds. She can be blunt, brutally honest, and very forward. But just because she's truthful does not mean she's lacking compassion and humor. She's still understanding because she can truly see the entire situation for what it is. If you're the queen, it's time to set your emotions aside and try to view things intelligently with clarity and honesty. Excuse me. Whew. All right, y'all. This is actually a lot. I might pull cards for clarity, but for right now, I'm just gonna talk out loud because, quite honestly, I have so many ideas, and in typical Virgo fashion, like my ideas are not just fleeting thoughts; they are well thought out, color coordinated, bullet pointed outlines with timelines and everything saved via files in my various different devices, video archives, outlines in my notes. Like there I have a lot of plans. And I can be honest and say that I have a terrible habit of creating guides that I've developed in my personal life that have helped me through some of the hardest things of my life and some of the most challenging parts of my life, and also some of the most rewarding. But um, I create guides and I go through and I tweak them and I edit them, and then I use them again and I reference them again if I find myself in need, and I don't use them. And I recently had this conversation with one of my best friends because with me going to school and getting my degree, right? Prior to me going back to college, I ran a business, and that business was heavily, um, it was a wellness brand. And it started from a hair care line, um, to help my children, me and my oldest at the time, grow our hair back from like shedding and balding to skincare to bath care to meditative assist, like guided meditations, yoga, um, and I kind of like built myself up to like a life coach position, right? And then I started getting a bunch of imposter syndrome. And the imposter syndrome came from my life at the time being a complete fucking wreck, right? And well, not a complete wreck, but that's what it felt like, right? If I'm just speaking from the lived experience of it, it felt like my life was a wreck. And because it felt like my life was a wreck, I never really felt like I could truly commit to a life coaching position or a life coaching like stance, because it was like, girl, you have to coach yourself, right? You have to guide yourself. You have to assist yourself. Um, and in the words of in the words of someone that I've known in a past life, you taking this self care shit too far, right? I was not taking it far enough, and so I really leaned into myself. And I feel like the imposter syndrome for a long time was holding me back. I was holding myself back because it was like I didn't feel like I could truly commit to or really help anybody. I didn't feel like anybody cared what I had to say. I didn't feel like anything that I had to say held value or would be helpful to anyone, just based off of the stance, based off of like the situation that I was currently living in at that time, mentally and emotionally. And that was one of my driving forces for going back to school all those years ago. So now I'm done with school, and I've been having this conversation with my best friend, and she's just been like, okay, well, you got the degree now, so what you waiting for? And she's always been really great about pouring into me and letting me know, like, the degree never, like, what I had to say was still valid without it, but now I done fucked around and got it, so what I'm about to do with it, right? And I feel like I've still been sitting on it. I've been sitting on the information. I've been sitting on the knowledge. I've been sitting on the outlines. I've been sitting on the journals. I've been sitting on it. And I don't know, maybe this is my message to me to tell me to like go come on, like get to it. Get to it. Like you got people to help. You got people to serve. And it's such an interesting position being in this world to be a steward because I feel like some of the time they like we can get really lost in ourselves, right? And we can get really egotistical. And I feel like I fell victim to that because I was just like, oh, like no one's gonna care. Like it's not perfect. It's not like how I want it to be, or what it's not where I want it to be, and it's not, wait, I'm talking in threes. What is that? It's not where I want it to be. It's not what I want it to be. It's not how I think it should look. So I'm not going to release it, or, whatever the thought process is at the time. But I'm hearing for myself right now, the reality is it's not for you. And that has been an experience that I have been kind of coping through because we all only have one life to live. But to be a steward in the position of stewardship is like you are not living your life for you. You are living your life for other people to learn from. And that has been that has been such a humbling in the best ways experience because to know the life that you've lived and to know what it feels like and could look like in some of the most ugliest situations, and to know that you're okay, and to know that you made it through, and to know that you're not only surviving but you're thriving, and to know that you've done everything and became everything that you ever said that you were going to be, and then to take your kids to the park and meet a random stranger and they say things to you like, oh, I think God brought me here to meet you because I needed to see what it looks like on the other side. I needed to know that I could leave, or I needed to know that I'm going to be okay, or I have a child with special needs and sometimes I just don't, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not a good mom and I'm not a good parent, because it's not only women. It's like I'm not a good parent, I'm not a good, I don't have the skills, I don't have the capacity. And to just meet people in my daily life, and be able to give them what they need from what I've lived has been such a humbling experience for me. So I'm getting from this reading that I gotta stop sitting on my tools, your tools. They're for y'all. They've helped me. So I can't even dismiss it and say it's for y'all, not for me. Because the reality is, I am a living product of my tools. I am a living product of my journals. I'm a living product of my worksheets and my master classes, or whatever social media is calling them now. Like, I am living, I'm the commercial, I'm the brochure. I'm the mom with the children with special needs. I'm the woman who left the marriage and had nothing. I'm the woman who bounced back from it. I'm the woman who's thriving in her career, who was a late bloomer in life. I am all of those things. I am the woman who's experiencing dating after marriage. I'm the woman who is learning how to reparent herself. I'm the woman learning what femininity looks like. I'm the woman learning how and who to be in real time. And I often find myself studying me. And it's really like I have learned how to become a meologist. Like, I study myself. I study Simone. And because I take the time to study myself, and I've been able to cultivate this healthy level of self awareness, it's also allowed me to create a lot of guidance. And I'm sometimes, I don't know, maybe, I don't know why I'm recording this. This is so weird. But it's the Six of Wands. It's the triumph. It's the Queen of Wands. It's the assuredness and the get to itness. It's the cup of. It's the Queen of Cups. It's everything. It's the accomplishments. It's the knowledge. It's the victories. It's everything. It's being self assured. It's realizing right now in this reading that imposter syndrome does not really have a place here. It's not even something that I feel because I am a behavior health advocate. I am a autism mom. I am a special needs advocate. I am a parent coach. I am a life coach. And I will be a therapist very soon. I am a teacher. I am an educator. I am a mother. I am a lover. Like, I am. Hmm. Okay. Um, so get to it, get started. Okay. That was kind of crazy. I don't know. I guess I had to post it and hold myself or record it to hold myself accountable. Thank you, Spirit. Anybody who does tarot, you guys know there's like a heavy like communication of energy from the front of the deck to the bottom, and you feel it kind of jolt through your body. Well, that's how I feel it. I feel it kind of like jolting through my body, and then I kind of go on these like spirals or like um, I kind of ramble on and on and on, and then I always know when I'm done because when I pick up the cards, like the energy is there, but it's balanced and it's contained. We got the Knight of Pentacles to close out this card. To close out this reading. It's crazy because I never even, like, when I do my own readings, I never even say them out loud. I usually just internally process, or I'll journal and I'll sit with it and I might revisit it for a couple days, and but I've never recorded it, not like this. Um, excuse me. So we have our Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is solid, dependable, and obviously has a serious work ethic. They have no problem keeping their head down and getting the work done, and they'll do it perfectly. Their attention to detail and their ability to deliver is admirable. If the Knight is you, it is time to toil away and get shit done. It's going to take long, hard work, but you will probably find some enjoyment and satisfaction in the process. So, if I can be completely honest with you guys, one of the things that I shy away from when it comes to like distribution, I guess, is I'm not the most tech savvy person, right? So I get very easily frustrated with technology when there's like, oh, I have to like upload all of these products, and like I can create a product and I can, make it digital, and I can like digitize things, right? But then when it gets to, getting it somewhere where someone can purchase it, access it, or like making it a transferable file, all of that stuff is just not my jam. It's not my shtick, right? I get very frustrated very easily, and that is usually the wall that I hit some of the time when I feel like these pushes of like energy and urges to, you know, okay, make it available. I get stuck. And it's hard. And for a long time, I just kind of felt like I already have so much other hard shit going on. Like, I don't have the time for this too. Like, I just don't have the capacity. So I think this is perfect timing because I have time and I have the capacity and I have things that people need. So, with that being said, I gotta get to it. While I'm here, I guess. So, I created a journal, I want to say about 2 years ago, called the Wellness Journal. And what it was a guided journal for women, just for mindfulness and wellness, right? And then I closed my business down. Journal didn't really make too many sales. I wasn't really like upset about it. But recently, I want to say back in June, I created another journal. This one's a 3-part journal or 4-part journal. It's called Do Something Different, and it's 4 phases. And phase 1 has been released. I released phase 1 back in September, around my birthday. And I didn't make a big fuss about it. I didn't really do any big promo on it, or like I didn't do a big push. I just did market research. And I how I came up with the phases for these journals is I looked through my personal journals and I picked out my freehand journals, which honestly kind of start a lot like this. They usually started with like a tarot reading or like a verse reading from my Bible or something that I heard or a conversation with a parent or a loved one or a friend, and it just kind of got me thinking and got my wheels turning, and it caused me to like process. And from those journal entries, because I free write a lot, from those journal entries, I pulled out the themes and I pulled out the prompts, and then I tweaked them and I organized them in categories, and I came up with a journal series, a trilogy, if you will. And I released it back in, let me see if I can pull it up. I released it back in September. Yes. I started a journal and I broke it into phases. Phase 1 was released back in September. I didn't make a big fuss about it. It's available right now. I have it available at a donation based price. Base price is $22.22, but it is donation based right now for the time being. And phase one, the theme for phase one ended up being coming home to yourself. And a lot of the prompts were curated based on the space that I was in when I first realized that I was not okay, right? So there was a lot of like angry journaling and rambling and like depressive episodes and manic episodes and that, right? um, so a lot of those prompts came from, oh my gosh, excuse me, sorry guys, from that mental space. And then they moved into how did I get out of it, right? How did I reclaim my power? How did I realize like I'm not okay and I need help and the type of help that I need, and how did I find my voice and learn how to advocate for myself and set boundaries and stand my ground on a bunch of shit that was really hard for me to do, right? And then how did I gain or earn or find peace with that? Like, after I had been so manic and been so depressed and been so angry and disorganized and chaotic, and then I started teaching myself how to reclaim my power and hone that energy in and transmute a lot of that energy. How did I get from that to finding peace and having peace within myself with the decisions that I made and the life that I lived and how I ended up there in the first place, right? Um, and with that, I became very emotional, very emotionally fluid. And at first, it was all rage. And I remember my therapist telling me, like, girl, you're not only angry. You're, there's more than one emotion. There's not just anger. So, what did that look like? And how did I learn how to like verbalize and identify my emotions and reclaim the power for those? And how did I get from that to like forgiveness and forgiving myself and forgiving, I don't know, whoever else I felt like needed to be forgiven at the time, right? So how did like how did I lay that angry little girl to rest so that the new me could be born and could thrive and could start to like take control of her life. So I really appreciate this reading because honestly, if not for the reading, I probably would still be sitting on it. I probably would not have pushed it, and I probably would not have made too many more posts. I did make like a couple posts about it on social media, but I think that something that has also been like a hurdle for me is never wanting to feel like I'm trying to force anyone to do anything, right? Especially with regard to healing, especially with regard to like seeing yourself and showing yourself and that type of work, that type of internal work, that shadow work, that growth and development, that level of change, like the deeply rooted fundamental foundational changes of yourself, I never want to come off as like pushy or like, oh, I like giving off this facade that I'm like perfect because I'm not. And I'm not ashamed of my flaws and I'm not embarrassed of my flaws. I just also understand that it's really easy to say it on the other side. Um, and I think something else that this reading is telling me is that I'm in a very advantageous position to be a support because I've lived both lives. I've lived in the chaos. I did not thrive there. um, and I've grown out of it. I live in the inner peace now. And it took me a while to get here. Like, and I fought it tooth and nail, and it because chaos is we just know, we just go for what we know, and that's human nature. We're always gonna go for what we know, and that's why I always want to be mindful, because I never want anyone to hear anything that I say and think that I'm saying that you're healing wrong, or you're doing it wrong, or you're not, you're broken, or you're damaged, or you're never going to get there because you're not doing it this way. There's more than one way to do it. Some people just need a little bit more help, and that's okay. And some people don't know where to start, and that's okay. And some people have the help and they know where to start, and their executive functioning makes it hard, and they're not really able to execute, or their brain is telling them one thing and their body is doing another. There's so many reasons why you could be at a different stage in your journey, and I just never want to come off as saying like, well, you're not working hard enough, you're not trying hard enough. And that was definitely the concept of do something different, because I had that mindset for so long of like, oh, nothing is working, and nothing is working because I'm doing it wrong. And it's like, no, just do something different, just make a small change. The biggest change that I made for myself, especially coming out of like the marriage and having to sell my house and literally starting from scratch as a stay-at-home mom, leaving you know, we made good money. Like, I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything to my name. All I had was my kids. And going from that to where I am now, I just never want anyone to feel like because you're not where I am right now that you did something wrong. Because you didn't. You just got to do something different. The smallest change was actually the biggest change for me. The smallest change was my willingness. Like, I got a job, great job offer, required me to leave everything that I knew, everybody that I knew, go somewhere where I didn't know anybody. I just had two family members. I didn't know anybody. And I reluctantly had to leave my kids. Did not want to leave my babies. I turned around as soon as I realized they were not coming. But that small change in myself and my willingness to go do what I needed to do to better myself, or to improve my situation, or to just change my situation and get me out of where I was so I could think clearly, even if it was for a small amount of time, completely changed the trajectory of my life. I think that if I hadn't gone and I hadn't accepted that job, I probably would not be as far as I am and as I have been, and especially as I've gotten in the last year. Like, that willingness of just saying, okay, I got to do something different because everything that I've been doing isn't working. I think I think that's one of the biggest reasons how I got here, and I keep that in mind. And that might be why I don't push my products as much, because they don't feel like products to me. They are timestamps of my life, and they are it's documentation. Like, I've documented my journey from the 35, 34-year-old woman who was boohoo bawling, crying on her floor in her 4-bedroom house as a homeowner before 30, with her 2 children, miserable, depressed, anxious, out of my mind. You know, like, I don't know. I don't really know where I was going with that. Again, I'm not really sure why I was called to record this, but there's also something telling me to post it, which is kind of crazy, but I'll post it. You guys let me know what you think. If you like this style of video with me just rambling without any clear points or anything, I don't know. I don't know. It's 11 o'clock at night. And I'm just me. Just a woman out here in this world. Giving it the best she got. And I hope by me giving it the best that I've got and documenting it, maybe you could use the best that I've got too. I don't know. But happy December.